Hello all, I'm Jayanti Venkatachalaya. Welcome to her Chronicles. Today's guest is a woman of strength, purpose and healing. Sanya Sharma is a political science educator, a tarot reader, Reiki healer and an angel therapist. She has been the Iron Lady leadership trainer and an enthusiast. Well, from overcoming personal loss at very young age to funding her own education and emerging as a top scholar, her journey is nothing short of inspiring. She stands as a symbol of resilience and self discovery. Hi, Sanya. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hello, Jayanti. I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. Let's start the conversation to uncover
Absolutely.
your journey and also your future plans, Sanya. Um, you have called yourself as a fighter and a healer, right? Can you take us back to your journey and the situations where and the moments where you had to fight for your dreams?
Sure. All right. Yeah. The childhood was a bit traumatic. In fact, it wasn't a very easy journey at all. I lost my father at a very young age when I was barely 8. My
Mhm.
brother, he was 2, elder was 10. So, yes, my mother had taken up as single-handedly, she had taken the entire strife all by herself. And it wasn't an easy piece of cake at all. Uh, However, she was a very strong woman, but yes, God had stuck and had hit her in that moment where she just did not expect it at all with her 3 children. But I must say, and I must look up to my mother and my grandmother and everyone who supported that point of time to make us the kind of the individuals we are today. We shifted from South Delhi. So whosoever is in Delhi knows how Greater Kailash looks like. That's where we used to live. So we had come down to stay with my maternal grandmother, whom we call it as Nani,
Mhm.
and we had my mama, mommy, my maternal uncle, maternal aunt, and I really, really, from the bottom of my heart, had a huge lot of respect for these people because if these people wouldn't have supported us, wouldn't have take our hands and held it up in their hand, it would have been all the more difficult for all of us. So yes, from the very childhood, I knew, in fact, all of us knew that we have to stand for ourselves. Coming to my end, I was a bit
How has
non-confirmationist.
been that shift, right? So from your father's house to maternal uh, grandmother's house and lifestyle change, was it all completely different? Was it okay to easy to cope up?
Well, no, I mean it was very, very difficult. As you can see, when a child needs both the parents, and when you lose one, it becomes very, very difficult, especially a father figure, especially when he's the only breadwinner in the family. It becomes all the more difficult. So yes, my mother had taken up the jobs later. However, she was quite an educated woman, but then she never worked because my father was a businessman. So yes, she never had the opportunity to work and she never wanted to work also before. So yes, when we shifted to our grandmother's house, it was a different journey altogether. Uh, my grandmother was also working in Khadi Gramodyog Bhavan. So
Mhm.
at that age as well, I was surrounded by women who
Powerful
call
woman.
themselves absolutely,
Mhm.
powerful ladies whom I really look up today. And now I realize, why am I like this? Uh, this is because the socioeconomic and a lot of other differences shape you to
Correct.
make you the kind of the person you are today. So
That's
yes,
right.
it was a
They
very, very
say that
different change.
if you associate yourself or if you're surrounded by five people, you will be average of those five, right? So
Absolutely, absolutely.
nice.
So yes, it was a very, very difficult thing to be in, and it was a difficult scenario to adjust ourselves in. Greater Kailash is quite a high-ended place in Delhi, in the capital
Mhm.
territory of India, and I mean, over there, things were pretty different. We didn't really had to, I mean, look out for anything. We were living a very, very superb and a comfortable life. But yes, the graph entirely changed after my father's demise. Uh, We came and started living, with the maternal uncle and aunt, as I told you, my mama, mommy. And then there was, my grandmother who totally, wholeheartedly, emotionally, mentally, financially, and whatnot. I mean, she just supported her, supported all of us. So yes, it was a different and a difficult journey to be in.
What was the core strength that carried you through challenge of self-funding your master's degree, MPhil, and securing the second rank in JNU?
I clearly remember that, well, as I told you, Jayanti, that I was always a very non-conformationist, did not believe in status quo. I had my own opinion, own thinking. And I always used to think out of box. I mean, starting from the drawing room conversations to taking the biggest decisions of my life, it has never been easy and it has never been a cakewalk. It has never been dictated by somebody. I'm not somebody who work on anyone's diktat. And let me tell you that having said that, if you choose to live your life on your own terms, you have to pay a price for it. And yes, it came out, and I had my own tough days. So I remember when, I mean, I was always opposed in the family for the kind of the thought process that I had. So yes, I remember when I was 16 years old and I was in 11th standard, I chose humanities in my school. I chose the subjects which were very close to my heart. I was always a very subjective, political person, so I loved reading political science, psychology, and sociology, history. All of these excited me the most.
Wow.
And so I took up these subjects, and that is where I also started taking tuitions. And you can just imagine, for a 17-year-old girl, it's difficult to also study and to also support herself financially. And that is where, from 17 years till I mean, till I completed my B.Ed. Till then, I know it has been a roller coaster journey altogether. I used to leave early in the morning, attend my colleges, go directly to take and, to take the tuitions, teach children, come back at 9, eat my food, uh, have
Study
a
again.
have a quick nap, and then wake up early in the morning around 3:30, and then do my own study. So yeah, yes, it was a tough time. What went me going through was that my faith on divine and my faith on myself. I knew if you have to do something, you have to stand up for yourself, whatsoever. Whatever you do in life, the last thing that you should do is being dependent on others. Uh, I think God has blessed me, with all the sensory organs, good mind, and now I just have to use it. And I believe in a saying that where there's a will, there's a way. Uh, you just have to have that spirit in you, and you do find a way. You will get red flags, you will get signposts, but God will help you. And so,
And
yes.
you're tuned to hardworking early, so that's helping you in the long run.
Absolutely. So yes, I feel very fortunate, and and I feel myself very lucky that God gave me the opportunity to read in an institute which is ranked consecutively third year as the top institute by the NIRF. I am a product of Miranda House Delhi University. After which I did masters in political science as my major subject, and over there I topped my college, and I was felicitated I mean, by Sri Markende Karju, who was the ex-Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And I remember taking my award, and that also, I mean, it makes me feel very nostalgic at this moment. After which I did a research degree, again on the topic which was very close to my heart. If you remember, there was this Nirbhaya rape case gang
Correct,
happened
correct.
in 2012, 16 December, which was so horrific, which not only shook our nation, but also the world across. I mean, it was so, so traumatic. So I did my dissertation on that. Uh, and it was about gendering state and law and how we look upon women. And is the state safe and secure to keep the women, to keep the empowered woman?
Mhm.
And I was the first one to complete my MPhil in a matter of 18 months. I did my MPhil from Delhi University, but then I also got into JNU. I got into JNU CPS, Center for Political Studies, for which JNU is most known for.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
I received the second rank. And I still look back on those days, and I remember my interview. I remember the conversation which I had. I think it came very naturally. I think the most important thing that you have to do in your life, Jayanti, is that you have to stay true to yourself.
I agree.
Howsoever, howsoever worse, howsoever brute, howsoever, howsoever it is, you just have to stay true and honest to yourself. After my MPhil, I did a B.Ed and then I started my professional journey. I started teaching political science, and now I complete a decade of being an educator.
Teaching. Wow.
And and yeah, it's been a tremendous and a beautiful journey altogether. And I call myself as a healer, Jayanti, because I
Mhm.
remember you asked me that question.
Right.
Because I think this thing also comes very, very naturally to me. I think
How
as a teacher,
did the healing journey starts in between so much of studies and the teaching, Sanya?
I realized one thing, Jayanti. Life is simple. It's just that we make it complex. All right. And having said that, pain is inevitable, but suffering is something that you choose. Suffering of
Very true.
any matter.
Very true.
So I was quite an introspective person from a very, very beginning, as a child also. Uh, and I always used to throng on the self-help book. I never read fiction. I never read even the Panchtantra tales. I have never read Jataka folk tales or any such book. Only books that I still read is the self-help because I believe that the more you understand yourself, it helps you understand and become empathized with the world around. Second,
Agree.
the more you heal yourself, uh, you heal the world.
And you don't
So
need
it's
external
a,
help to heal yourself, and you can
absolutely.
heal yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, yes, sometimes the external help is required, but then it is more of an internalizing journey. So you have
Correct.
to just internalize that process. You have to ask yourself, what is it that you require? What is it that you need? What is it that your heart and soul craves for? And you should
When you
just
can
move on to
heal
that thing.
yourself, you can take the inputs from others to heal faster, right? So,
Absolutely, absolutely. So yes, that's where I still remember I was 15 and I read this book by Neil Donald Walsh, and the book was My Conversations with God. And I remember my elder one, quite a practical and a pragmatic person. And she told me, I mean, she just came to my room and she said, "Well, what the hell are you reading? I mean, what's the point of reading this godly and meditative conversation at this hour? You should be like, well, this is what I want to do, and all of those things." And I'm like, no, I know what I'm reading. It's making sense to me.
mhm.
And believe me, whatever I was reading, I was not reading, I was absorbing.
Wow.
It was almost like I'm understanding each and every syllable, I'm understanding each and every word, and I know I'm going to live that. So, yes, the healing journey began when I started learning Reiki, tarot, and a lot of other things I'll speak across later.
So you have been through personal and emotional challenges, particularly during your marriage. And how did the external professionals helped you? And do you want to talk about that to people who are going through similar challenges, but many a times we hesitate to take external help, right? So we think that we can solve problems ourselves, but it'll be too late sometimes if you don't seek external help to resolve some of the issues.
This is a question which is very close to my heart. As I told you, I was always a child who was always a querent, who had a lot of questions for which the answers I could not find in Google, I could not find in anyone's conversation. I knew I had to live that journey to understand and to make sense. Having said that, at the age of 18, I found the man of my life. Uh, and at the age of 25, after completing my dissertation, we planned to get married. I was 25 and he was 52. And the tremendous 27 years of age gap that we had is what I shared. Now, you can imagine for a mother who has, raised her two daughters and a son, in a very tough circumstances with no father figure, she would have obviously felt a bit awkward. And she did. Uh, None attended my wedding. My siblings didn't attend even my wedding. And I remember it was the biggest and the toughest decision that I took in my life so far. Standing up for what I felt when everyone in the family, even in the friends, Uh, Everyone left. So, yes, it was a challenge for me. But somewhere down the line, Jayanti, I knew it's going to take time. I'm going to have the best of my lifetimes. I'm going to enjoy the best of the moments in this journey with Praveen. So, yes, he is a joint director in Ministry of Defense. He's Praveen. So, yeah, it was a difficult journey altogether. You can just imagine that you are taking a step, that to a wedding, uh, which is a very, very life-turning process in your life, in fact, everyone's life, and you're taking it all by yourself. I was literally abandoned. I mean, but I stood for myself. I had faith. I'll take it through. So, yes, that faith kept me going. But having said that, even though you know that you're leading your journey with faith, but you do require some sort of emotional support. Now, I was
True.
coming from a matriarchal family, all strong ladies and all of that, uh, and from a nuclear setup. I entered into a setup which was joined, which was a bit patriarchal, and things were pretty sorted over there. But yes, it was completely changed for me. And yes, initial those domestic issues and other things let me into an area and an terrain wherein I found myself that, where am I right now? And that's the time when I realized that I'm going through an identity crisis. Quite a similar stage with adolescence goes through.
Mhm.
You're not an adult, and you're not even a kid, but you're expected to be the best. The same situation was with me. I married to the eldest in the family, and I was the youngest one in the family. But I was expected to turn out and display the behavior that shows a lot of maturity and whatnot. So yes, it was a very, very difficult and a tough journey initially. I think initially 2 years were difficult for me to absorb the environment, the people, and things across. But yes, I think my patience and Praveen's support let the journey sink in. And that was also the time when I realized that whatever I'm going through, I had nobody to talk about. I had no friends. Uh, Not even my family. But anyhow, I think these professional helps really made much difference in my life. I remember turning from pillar to post. We used to meet a couple of psychiatrists and psychologists just to share because I wanted to vent out in front of a person who
Correct.
was neutral, who couldn't judge me, who
True.
just valued and celebrated me as a person. As to whatever I was thinking about, somebody could hear it with a patient ear. I just needed even that. So you can imagine I was devoid of even the basic thing. So yes, I realized that yes, this is where I need the professional help because I can't really go through now any further. And that's when I met a couple of very, very known psychiatrists and psychologists based in Delhi in BL Kapoor and Gangaram Hospital. And I got in touch with them. Medications helped me. However, they kept me a bit drowsy, but they helped me. I think psychologists played a very, very important role. And I remember after a couple of sessions, they were like, well, you're absolutely okay, Sanya. Don't come to us. Just have faith on yourself, faith on your journey. It's difficult, but you just start writing a journal. So yes,
Very
that's where I realized that I needed help. And for the people across right now, I would have one suggestion for all those people who feel that, see, I think we are talking about a lot of mental health these days. There are a lot of
true.
apps, a lot of companies, a lot of corporate social responsibility who consider this as a very important task to deal with. So I think, yes, this is something that we must focus on just like we have a scar and we go to a doctor, there are mental scars which we need to open out.
True.
And psychiatrists and psychologists are those neutral people who just listen to you, hear your unbiased
Unbiased.
concern,
True.
not really related to you, and they may help you in your journey totally.
I totally agree.
So,
Actually, yeah. Even we have experienced when my husband was in hospital, psychologists used to come and visit us very often. And we were just venting out. And this sometimes it's just a casual conversation, right? we used to talk about some topics which is not related to disease at all. So at least for some time we used to get out of hospital environment mentally and then discussing a lot of other things. We really felt
Yes,
good during
that
those times,
helps. That
right?
helps. You see, that really helps. So, yes, people who are seeking some problem and who aren't getting support shouldn't feel shy. And I really urge the society to please wake up, the parents, the friends, people around. Please do not give a stigma to the people who are visiting mental health professional. Visiting a mental health professional doesn't mean that you are mentally sick, energetic. I would like to use that word. It doesn't mean that you aren't mentally sound. It just means that you're not in your flow, you're not in the best version of yourself. And to explore that, if you need help, what's the harm? So I think I really urge through your podcast, Jayanti, I would really take this opportunity to to suggest all the parents, to suggest all the teachers, all the professionals, people around, society at large, do not stigmatize,
Hesitate.
do
Yeah.
not stereotype the people who are visiting the mental health professional.
I think both of us, and then along with our families, we met in Kashmir last year.
Yes.
And I understand that you are a avid traveler. How has
Not more than you,
be-
Jayanti.
I love traveling. That is keeping me going in spite of so many challenges, right? So, what is one takeaway or some of the learnings you got through traveling?
So yeah, I think visiting a place, it's like giving you the first-hand experience, right? So when you visit any place, it's like you take back memories, you take back lessons, you take back the culture, you take back the dialect, you take back the eating pattern, you take back the place in itself, you know. It's like today, if somebody will ask me, well, this is how Kargil looks like, and I'm like, well, I know how it looks like. I've been there. Uh, I would just like to share two stories over here. However, we met in Kashmir, but something which is coming to my mind right now is I visited this Indo-Bangladesh border when we visited Tripura. And I remember that since my husband is an army officer, I happened to be the chief guest over there because we had some BSF professionals who also happened to be his friend. So we went there and I attended the same ceremony, something which is very similar to like Atara Vaga, this Vaga Atari border. So there are a couple of borders wherein the two countries celebrate, and have that ceremony. Uh, Now I know what that looks like in Bangladesh because I have witnessed it. Similarly, in Mysore, uh, you know, uh, the way they celebrate Dashera is totally marvelous. I mean, the entire city is engulfed with a lot of lighting. I mean, I think if in India, if you want to see where is the Shara, I think during this time period, you must visit Mysore. So, yes, when you visit a place, you take up a lot of learning. You take up a lot of learning firsthand. You meet a lot of good people, like one is Jayanti, who's sitting right across me. That, yes, a place gives you memories. And I think everyone is a pilgrim of life, right? So, every individual is a pilgrim of life. And in this life, if you give yourself a lot of other experiences, I think that's always good.
Sanya, you are not only the educator, right? You are also tarot reader, a Reiki healer, and an angel therapist. A little bit you spoke about how the journey started, especially early in the age of 14, you started reading. So, can you walk us through a little bit more on your healing journey?
Uh, Thank you. I really like this question. So, Jayanti, I think the healing journey is still on and it's going to be a lifelong process. And I started learning tarot 5 years back when I realized that, yes, uh, I was always drawn into occult, as I told you. So, I wanted to know the mystery of these cards, how these cards can touch your subconscious mind, and how can they bring the answers so accurately, so minutely. And I was amazed and aghast when I when I first took a tarot card reading. Today, yes, I'm a tarot card professional by myself, and I know that these 78 cards are not just a piece of this thing, a paper. They have they are actually used as a divinatory tool to understand the subconscious mind and to help come out with the problems and actually deal with them and give the proper solutions. uh, I also did Reiki healing, again, as I told you. The more I heal myself, the more I'm able to heal the world, and I think we need more healers rather than distractors and criticizers. Yeah, numerology and astrology teachings and learnings are still on. And angel therapist is something that was quite unique, and I was again intrigued by this process and this course. Angels are basically, Jayanti, so angels will be in front of us even right now. We just need to connect to them. Who they are, how we connect to them, how they solve our problems, how can we share our problems with them. Through this course, I helped myself elevate myself up to that level. So today, yes, I help people connect to their angels around, have a conversations with them, just like I'm having a conversation with you, a live conversation. Connect with them at any point of time, seek answers, get solace, and get going. So yes, I think all these courses, entire occult, helps me in my teaching profession also. And let me tell you quickly over here that I'm not really a teacher of political science. I don't really fit my classroom and my lectures based on the subject. I can proudly say that I touch my students' life. I touch upon their fears. I discuss their ambitions. I work very hard with them to bring out their best potential. And I think that's the best earning that I have had with me, because I shape lives. I don't make machines, I make people. And years later, months later, when these children come back to you with the text, well, you are the kind of the woman I want to be, bold and impactful. I think it's not the salary that you earn for. Uh,
True.
I think your purpose is solved. And
Yeah.
you get
So the
to know,
moments you
and
live for, right? It's
absolutely.
amazing feeling.
And absolutely. And there have been so many parents, with whom I've been in touch with, who really feel grateful for not really teaching their children political science, but helping them grow as an individual. So, yes, having said that, I touch upon that moral chords. I teach upon their fears. I deal with them. I talk to them just like as their friend, because they are at a stage. I talk to 16, 17, 18-year-old boys and girls, young lads and chaps who need people around. They're not really comfortable discussing a lot of things with their parents, who are simply nagging and comparing them with the other siblings and with the other people in the family. They need friends. They need people whom they can speak their mind with. So yes, I think I can proudly say that I don't really teach my subject. I touch upon the lives and I heal them. All of us lead a life which is true and best to our potential. We don't have to we don't have to impress anybody. We don't have to garb our true identity. We have to be true to ourselves, and we should continuously work in that endeavor to stand up for what we feel. And God should bless us with the highest potential of us.
So nice to hear you, Sanya. It has been great conversation. So nice to talk to you. Can you tell us
Similar.
what's your future dreams? What next?
uh, I take life as it comes, Jayanti. I never plan. You have to have a lot of courage in you to stand up for what you feel, and to believe in yourself, because even when nobody believes you, you have to
True.
remember that you have to speak and stand for yourself. Path may be rocky, path may be difficult, but at the end of it, believe me, it's all worth it.
I'll ask few. It's time for rapid fire questions. So one word that describes Sanya.
Healer.
One misconception what people have about tarot reading or spiritual healing.
Okay, people think it's fake. People think it's related to spells, but it's not. I think a true tarot card reader knows how to deal with energies, clearly knows how to deal with the cards, and gives you the correct answer. So, yes, it's not about spells, it's not about that dark energy, it's not about any card being negative. It's not like that. They are divinatory tool. We need to respect them.
Yeah. If you want to have dinner with one woman from history, who that would be?
Okay. So I think I would like to sit and have a dinner with the founder chairman of Infosys, Sudha Murthy. I am highly inspired by this humble lady, and I would really like to have a deep conversation with her about not really the Infosys building, but what really has built her, coming from a humble background and staying humble herself, despite of having a mass of whatnot. So yes, I
Agree.
think a dinner with Sudha Murthy would do.
Agree. I had the privilege of meeting her a couple of times when I was with Infosys. Really an inspiring personality, and she's so humble too.
Lucky, lucky. Great.
It's
Thank you. Thank you.
amazing talking to you, Sanya. I think all the best to
Absolutely.
everything you do, and keep healing more and more people.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jayanti, for inviting for this podcast. I really had the best of the time speaking and interacting with one of the fine and the gentle ladies. And thank you. Thank you so much.
बहुत स्वागत है हमारे बेहद ही विशेष कार्यक्रम वैदिक गुरु में। टैरो कार्ड से जान सकते हैं कौन टैरो कार्ड के जरिए अपना भविष्य जान सकता है या फिर अपना पास्ट जान सकता है, अपना वर्तमान जान सकता है। क्या समस्त जानकारी देने के लिए हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में उपस्थित हुई हैं हमारी बेहद ही खास मेहमान। जी हाँ, हम बात कर रहे हैं टैरो कार्ड रीडर सान्या जी की। तो मैम, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका।
नमस्कार, थैंक यू सो मच मुझे बुलाने के लिए। देखिए, टैरो कार्ड्स जो है वो हमारी सबकॉन्शियस रियलिटी को जानते हैं और पहचानते हैं।